With more choices available to consumers today, they're much more likely to defect to the competition if they believe their needs aren't being met. Providing a superior experience for your clients creates loyal customers and repeat sales, which are the most efficient type of sales. A University of Missouri study shows that over 90% of customers who are dissatisfied will not buy from you again, but won't tell you why. The same percentage of unhappy customers will become loyal clientele if their complaints are handled quickly and effectively. Since it costs about 5 times more to attract a new customer than retain an existing one, it's in your best interest to keep your clients happy and coming back. So if customer satisfaction is so important, why do so few businesses truly deliver it? A culture of world-class customer service requires a commitment to training, processes, and technology. The benefits to this type of commitment are featured in the book Branded Customer Service, The New Competitive Edge. Here to join us is the author of this book, Janelle Barlow. Janelle, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
A lot of good stuff in here, and I think I would personally like to interact with every company who takes on your book because customer service is a lost art. It's clearly not branded. What is the biggest misconception about brand that companies are making?
Well, a lot of people think that branded service is just good service, but that's not what it's all about. In my estimation, it's about how do you sell the promise that you make with your brand through your service. A good example of that happened with American Express. A couple of years ago, they ran an ad that said, "You're more than a number to us." And then people would call into their call center, and the first thing they heard was, "Customer number, please."
What can companies do besides monetary incentives to employees to get those their employees on brand?
It's not real simple. I mean, it's one thing you've got to do is you've got to integrate the marketing department with the human resource department, and most of the time it's not. In fact, the human resource department and marketing departments frequently are at odds with each other. And if it's not happening inside the organization, the chances of you delivering to your customers outside the organization is very, very slim.
And you touched on some other things too. If you're spending the marketing dollars and you get that first-time purchase, you get that first-time customer, how do you hang on to them?
It's about the first steps of awareness and then getting the customer to the point where they say, "I'm going to try this out." But ultimately, that's not what keeps the customer coming back. It's the experience that they have. And if that experience is different from what's been promised, the customer feels that disconnect, and they're not very likely to be a big fan or to want to come back. I think there are a lot of small companies that are beginning to get the hang of it, where they realize that what they've got to do is to hone their marketing messages, make them very, very clear. See, I don't believe that customers come for smiles. I think smiles are nice, but that's not why we're spending our money. We're spending our money for something else. So what's the value proposition that an organization offers to its customers? And a lot of organizations, small ones in particular, are beginning to look at that carefully. Also, they're realizing they're not going to get all the customers in the world. And that's one of the most difficult things for organizations to accept, is that you're not going to get all the customers in the world. You want to choose which ones are important for you and your business strategy.
What are some things, maybe a checklist they could go through to look at? What can we do to be better on brand? What are some things you need to be able to answer yes to? Are we doing this? Are we doing this? Are we doing this?
Yeah. Well, if you've got the answer to the question of what is your brand promise, when the customer shows up, what is it that they're going to experience? And then you just look at everything that you do through the eyes of that brand. Is the way that we handle checkout, if it's a retail space, is that on brand? Does it match what we've promised? For example, if we're promising speed, if we're promising accuracy, is everything that we're doing delivering to that space? And that may mean that you have to look at your environment. It may mean that you have to look at your systems that are in place. Everything needs to be looked at.
It's not a simple answer. It's a complicated.
It's very every company has a different answer for that question.
So has customer service really changed significantly over the years?
I actually think that it has gotten better, but customer expectations have also gone up. So as the expectations have gone up, the service hasn't kept up with it. So, it looks to a lot of people, especially if you look at the statistics, like it's standing still. But I think actually it is better.
Are customers smarter? They're more cynical. They're not buying into the brand, I've heard that before. Oh, we take care of the customer. Are they just like
just take care of me. Let's get this over with. You're making money. I've got to move on. You know, is that what's happening?
I mean, they do get cynical when you promise with your advertising and you don't deliver. I mean, what else is there to be but a cynical customer when that happens?
Now, you say when you get a complaint, though, that can sometimes be a gift, as you talk about in one of your other books.
Yes, a complaint is a gift. See, there's no way you're going to avoid problems that you create for the customers. There's just no way to avoid it. The question is how do you recover? Because all the research suggests that if you recover appropriately, and I think you need to recover on brand, so it matches the brand. If you recover appropriately, the customer will actually walk away remembering this experience in a positive way better than if there had not been a problem at all.
So give me an idea of some specific examples of what employees need to be equipped to really deliver that great branded customer service.
Well, first of all, they have to know what the brand is. What does it stand for? What are the emotional experiences that you want the customer to have? And they need some support on the backside. Like, what do we do when this happens? You know, I don't believe that service providers should be scripted. I just think that's a big mistake, because then we take this wonderful, expressive human being and we turn them into some sort of a robot where every time the customer says this, you say this, or every time you say goodbye to the customer, you say it this way. And I just think that just kills the spirit of the service provider, and it's a really bad decision to make.